Hello students, today we will discuss about the puzzles, which is the part of logical reasoning section in IIM B UG entrance test, which is happening first time for this year. So basically this puzzles is based on, this is also known as the instant puzzles, where basically they give some attributes attached to each person or let's say each parameter, and then you have to match them as per the hints which are given in the question. So let us Okay, just before starting with the puzzles, let me once again let you know that IIM Bangalore has introduced undergraduate programs from this year, from academic year 2026. So basically, they're offering 2 degrees. One is BSc Honors in Economics and the other is BSc Honors in Data Science. So each of these each of this department, the strength is 40 students. The intake is going to be 40 in each. So total 80 students they are willing to intake, and eligibility is that in your class 12 board you should be having mathematics as a subject for sure. I mean the 12th grade sheet which you're gonna have from the recognized board, be it CBSE, ICSE or state board, whatever. So from that recognized board, on the grade sheet there has to be definitely a mathematics subject, and you should have scored at least 60%. You should have scored at least 60%. And this is the eligibility condition. If you see the entrance test pattern, already IIM B UG has announced this entrance test pattern. It's going to be for 2 hours. It's going to be 60 multiple questions and divided into 3 sections: English comprehension, quant and DI, and logical reasoning. 15, 30, 15 questions, total 60 questions. The syllabus of the exam would be 10, 11, 12 grade syllabus. That includes arithmetic, algebra, probability, let's say calculus, and you could say coordinate geometry, some matrices and determinants, and these all topics basically. And having said this, let us also see one thing, that we have launched free 5 mock tests for IIM B UG entrance. The people who are serious aspirants and passionate enough to give a serious try to get into IIM Bangalore, which is one of the top institutes of our country, to pursue their undergraduation. This is the most, what do you say? See, hardly there are, let's say, 40 days or even less, because the exam is on December 13th, this particular exam. So you should be giving this 5 free mocks, I would say indeed. You should be giving this 5 free mocks, which are launched by Cracku. You should just go on to Google and search for Cracku IIMB UG mock tests. Then you can you will be automatically navigated to this page. You can create a account and you can start giving your free mock, so that you can assess yourself better. Exactly where are you currently standing at? What are your strengths and weaknesses as per individual topics, so that you can frame a strategy for the next 35 to 40 days where you can ace the exam as it is required. So I would say these are high quality tests. These are indeed very high quality tests. I would say each and every student should appear for this at least, to start the preparation on a good note, or even if someone has already started for the practice. So in addition to it, we have launched one WhatsApp channel in which the link to join this WhatsApp channel is on this YouTube description. Even though the point is that this is very important, because you will get a free preparation resources. You will get a preparation resources related to quant, DI, logical reasoning, and English comprehension, which are the part of the entrance test, and some important updates regarding the exam, the selection process, or let's say the key important dates where the interviews will be taken place, the entrance test and everything. So, and you'll get a cohort, the people who are preparing for this exam, so that you all can grow together. It really it's a good opportunity to make use of. And this is the live schedule. I mean, every day we are conducting a YouTube free live streaming. We are covering each and every topic on a daily basis, because the exam is in next 35 days, as I just mentioned. Our goal is to finish all the topics before the exam, let's say. So we started it from 23rd October. We finished let's say some 10 or 9 or 10 sessions, you would say indeed. Today the session is on LRDI, that is nothing but logical reasoning section. The puzzles, the topic is puzzles, which we will be discussing today. And then tomorrow, day after, and third, The respective topics are mentioned: grammar and sentence correction, quadratics, and logarithms. Each session would be for 1.5 hours. So you could watch the previous if you did not, and you can watch the currents and even the upcomings. Please do make a note of it, and you can subscribe to the IIMB channel of our Cracku, because you'll get a reminders. You can set the reminder, video reminders. That would be helpful. Now let us start with these puzzles. Instant puzzles, these are also called. As I mentioned, basically these are like an arrangement with multiple attributes. So approach would be arrangement plus table based sets. See, the point is that here in this kind of puzzles, what happens is they will give few persons, like they'll say there are person A, B, C, D, and let's say 4 people. You could, the question might change for 2, 3, 8 people or whatever, and they'll give some attributes. They'll say that A likes pizza, let's say, and there's a comparison with burger. So they will say that in total, out of these 4, only 2 people like burger and pizza is liked by 3 people, and they'll give some attributes like B like only one among these both, and they can say A doesn't like none of this. I mean to say A does not like both, and they say burger is liked by 2 people, and some attributes. Basically, they can say C likes pizza. C likes only pizza. If this is given, and if I say pizza is liked by exactly 2 people, if I say pizza is liked by exactly 2 people, if that is the case, then we are not sure about the B. We are not sure about the B, whereas we are not sure about the B and D, but we know one among B and D is definitely liking pizza. If I say pizza is liked by 2 people, if I say pizza is liked by 2 people, and if I say burger is liked by exactly 2 people again, then you can understand that in this 3, and I already mentioned, there are only what? As I told, C is only liking pizza, then this will also be wrong. So if burger is 2, then these 2 should definitely like the burger. And if pizza is 2, either B or D is liking the pizza. In that case, you will say, if this is liking the pizza, then this won't. Or if this is not liking the pizza, then this will definitely like the pizza. This kind of arrangements, I mean, they give some data, they give some information in the set or in the question, and you should be able to logically think which arrangement gonna work, so that every given condition will hold true. This is what instant puzzles more often. Let us take one example so that it becomes clear to you people on how to deal with this instant puzzles. So here the example says there are 3 friends, A, Aman, Beena, and Chitan. There are 3 friends. Attributes given here are one is related to drink, which is tea, coffee, juice. Then the other is related to doctor, teacher, and engineer, their professions. So basically, this is not a well-framed set, but it's like a example which I took up so that I can explain you where indeed the condition is that out of this ABC, each one belongs to a single profession among doctor, teacher, and engineer. That is, these 3 will cover these 3 professions: doctor, teacher, and engineer. And the other thing is, these 3 people, Aman, Beena, and Chetan, each one likes one unique drink among tea, coffee, and juice. That is probably Aman. See, A, B, C are there, and tea, coffee, and juice. One likes each drink. That is the thing. Now, but we do not know which person likes which drink and what profession they are from. In order to figure that out, we were given some information. One is that Aman is not the teacher. The other is the engineer drinks juice, and Beena drinks coffee. The other is the teacher is either Aman or Chetan. So how to deal with this kind of question? See, basically what you could do, Aman, Beena, and Chetan are given, right? You can take ABC. Let's say ABC are the people. Aman. Okay, I'll instead write over this a bit. Aman and Chetan, let's say. Now, what else we know? We know drinks. There are tea, coffee, juice. We know there are 3 drinks: tea, coffee, juice, and doctor, teacher, engineer. Let's write tea, coffee, juice. And we also know that there are doctor, teacher, and engineer. Now, we should be matching where which drink does A like and what is his profession. We should be matching that. Basically, our goal is to match that. So let us make use of this information. Now it is given that Aman is not the teacher. Aman is not the teacher. And please see this. If Aman is not the teacher, at the same time, if you see the fourth condition, here it is mentioned that the teacher is either Aman or Chetan. Either Aman or Chetan. So the teacher profession is pursued by either Aman or Chetan, but at the same time, there is a condition which said Aman is not the teacher. Aman is not the teacher. If that is the case, then Chetan should be teacher, because the teacher is only one among A or C, but A is not the teacher is already told, so C should be the teacher. This C should be the teacher for sure. Undoubtedly, C should be the teacher. Let me map teacher to the C, Chetan. Now, it is also said that Beena drinks coffee. So this B is drinking coffee. B is drinking coffee. The engineer drinks juice. The engineer drinks juice. Beena drinks coffee. We have already taken, and now engineer drinks juice. Where is the engineer? Here. So from juice this way. Now see, is this sufficient to figure out the entire match the following thing? It is, because I'll show you indeed why it is. See, one thing, if engineer is liking juice and Beena is liking coffee, already juice and coffee are done, then C should be liking tea. Then C should be liking tea, Chetan should be liking tea, because Chetan can't like coffee because already Beena likes coffee. Already Beena is liking coffee. Now, Chetan is a teacher, whereas the person who likes juice is an engineer. The person who likes juice is an engineer. So, Chetan is already teacher, so even juice is gone. So, Chetan should be liking tea. So that instead of writing this thing, this entire thing, what I would be doing is, I would be mapping Chetan to tea and this T to teacher. This is nothing but Chetan T teacher. Now, Chetan T teacher. Now we also know that B is likes coffee and A we are not sure. Now, if B is already liking coffee, C is already liking tea. That is, Veena is liking coffee and Chetan is liking tea. You could say Aman A should be liking juice. The only left out, because tea and coffee are already assigned to C and B respectively. Then only juice is pending, so A can be assigned to juice. Now, this implies A likes juice, who is an engineer, because juice is an engineer, and B and C likes tea, who is a teacher. Then B is liking coffee, who should be doctor. The only left out. So basically, this is the map. This is the clear-cut map, which say A to juice to engineer, whereas B to coffee to doctor. Now C say T to teacher. So the given four statements are sufficient to figure out what A likes, what B likes, and what C likes, and which profession each belong to. See, now you might say, sir, it has to be more clear over here. They just give attributes and profession. What if each person likes more than one kind of drink? That is, probably A likes juice and as well as coffee. Then it is not sufficient. The given information won't be sufficient. But this example is made in such a way, I told at the initial stage of solving itself, where the attributes is one to each. There are no multiple attributes in any single thing to a person. I already mentioned that so that you could be able to solve this easily. Now, taking this example, try doing this particular set. Think. I'll be starting the timer now. After this, I'll explain. Please spend your time and understand this. This is basically the same thing which you apply, the one we discussed just before this question. The way you interpret the statements, well, you will get the order very fastly, I would say. Indeed, the given time is, I would say, it's pretty much decent time or even more than sufficient time. As time is up, let me solve this question. So once we finish the set, we will be able to answer all the following 4 questions of this particular set. Here it is given that 7 people A, B, C, D, E, F, G live on 7 floors, each on 1 floor, not necessarily in order such that the bottommost floor is numbered 1 and the topmost floor is numbered 7. Not more than 2 people live above B, 3 people live between B and G, G lives on an even numbered floor, E lives above A but not on the 7th floor, C lives on an odd numbered floor but not on floor 1, 2 people live between A and B, D lives below E but above G. So basically how to do this is, you will be first writing A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There are total 7 people. E, F, G. So there are total 7 people, and there is a floor. There are floor wise. Could say that. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's say these are the 7 floors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, how to start solving this is that here it is given not more than 2 people live above B. Not more than 2 people live above B. So, at most, either 2 people will live or 1 people or none. That is 3 possibilities. Let us see case 1 where B could be here, where there is no one above B. B is on the topmost floor is one case. The second case could be this is a 7th floor again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Either B is on the top floor or second top floor. So now in this case, only one person is above B. Only one person is above B. That is the person who will be staying in the 7th floor. But here it is given not more than 2. Not more than 2. So maximum 2 people can stay. The third case could be this. 1, 2. I mean 7, 6 on 5th floor it is B. Like this. Bottom 1, 2, 3, 4. B is on the 5th floor, so that there are exactly 2 people above B in 6th and 7th floor combined. Now, this condition is taken care of. With this condition, we were able to figure out 3 cases, and let us start putting another people. 3 people live between B and G. Please read this. 3 people live between B and G. If 3 people are between B and G, where should G be in the first case? Where should G be given in the first case? 3 people are live between. So B is on the top floor. There is no one above L. So 1, 2, 3. If I leave 3 floors for 3 people, then I should be placing G here, because there are exactly 3 people live between B and G. Similarly, if you see in the second, 1, 2, 3 people, I will place G here, because anyway G can't be placed above B because only one floor is there above B. In third case, if you see, only 2 floors are there above B. Again, you can't place G above B. So G should be below B. 3 people should be there in between. So G will be on the first floor. This is placing B and G. So let us strike it off over here. We place B and G. Now, G lives on even numbered floor. Here comes another case. G lives on an even numbered floor. If G is living on an even numbered floor, which case will be eliminated? See here, the first case, we are about to place G is in third floor. 1, 2, 3. G is in third floor, B is in 7th floor, such that 3 people live between B and G. So this G's floor is third, but here it is that G lives on even numbered floor. So this case is eliminated. because G is in third floor. You can't place B on the top floor. That implies. What about the second case? G is on the floor number 2. This is fine. This is fine for now. G is on even number floor. What about third case? G is on again odd number floor. G is on the first floor, but G should live on even. So this is also eliminated. Eliminated case. Now, so the arrangement would be in this way. B is on 6th, G is on 2nd. What about the rest of the people? Now, E lives above A but not on the 7th floor. See here. E lives above A but not on the 7th floor. E lives above A but not. And even before using that, please do check that there is one more statement which said that two people, see this, two people live between A and B. Two people are there between A and B. If two people are between A and B, in the case 2, B is already in the 6th floor, A can't be above 6 because two people are between A and B. So A should have been this place, so that there will be exactly two people between A and B. So I would cancel now A as well. After doing that, A and B, what can I do now? Now here it said that E lives above A but not on the 7th floor. E lives above A but not on the 7th floor. Okay, so E should be one among this, or not even 7th, because E is not living on 7th. So E should be one among 5 and 4. E should be one among 5 and 4 because E lives above A but not on the 7th floor. So E is not on the 7th. On 6th also it can't be because already B is there. Only one among 4th and 5th floor E should have been there. Now, let us see the other thing. The other thing told that C lives on an odd numbered floor but not on the floor 1. C lives on an odd numbered floor. Okay. C lives on odd numbered floor but not on floor 1. So C is on odd numbered floor, either on 1 or 3 or 5 or 7. Either on 1 or 3 or 5 or 7, but not on the first. So either in 5 or 7, C should have been there. C lives on an odd number. So either 5 or 7, C should have been there in one place among 5 or 7. Now, D lives above E, but D lives below E, but above G. D is living above G, but below E. Or you could say D lives below E, but above G. So if E is one among 5 and 4, and D lives below E, but above G, G is already in 2nd. So now if E is over here, then G or D lives below E. So D could be over here such that it is above G. It is above G. But if E is over this place, can I place D such that D lies below E but above G? Is it possible? It is not possible. If E is in this case, I mean to say, I'm saying that this is E, this is D, because if E is over this instead of 5, if it is on 4, then EAG is there. Now I'm saying that D lives below E. D lives below E but above G. How can I place? I can't place because EAG is already there. How can I place D here? I can't be doing that. So E and D should be in respectively on 5 and 4 because D lives below E but above G. Now ED is also placed. E and D. The only left outs are F and C to be placed. F and C. And we also know that C is a person who lives on an odd number floor but not on the floor 1. C is a person who is living on an odd number floor but not on the floor 1. So C, if it's not on the floor 1, then either 3 or 5 or 7. But already 3 is on A, 5 E is already staying there. So C should be staying in odd number floor which is 7. Odd number floor which is 7. The only left out is F should be going to the first floor. The only left out F should be going to the first floor. See this arrangement. This exactly satisfies all the given conditions in the question, which is G lives on even number floor, E lives above A but not on the 7th floor, C lives on an odd number floor but not on the floor 1, two people live between A and B, D lives below E but above G. So C, B, E, D, A, G, F. This is our arrangement. If I can write on this side, if I can write over this side, the final arrangement, or let's say final answer to this, 7 floors, F, G, A, D, E, B, C. This will be the arrangement. Now, let us see the questions, the 4 questions which are asked based on this. Who lives on the fifth floor? Who lives on the fifth floor? E. E is living on the fifth floor. So, if A is wrong, C is wrong, B is wrong, none of this will be the answer because E is staying on the fifth floor. Now, who lives on the topmost floor? Topmost floor is 7. C is living on the topmost floor. Then answer should be person C. Now, who lives on the first floor? First floor, we figured out that F is living. F. So, answer should be option A, which says it is F. Now, let us see one more question where it is asked, identify the odd pair. Identify the odd pair. FG, one is F and G. Okay, F and G are over here. Consecutively, they are placed 1 and 2. That is, G lives above F. Here, you see here F and G. G is staying above F, immediately above F. Okay. Similarly, let's check E and A. What about E and A? E is over here. EA is over here. So there is E in this way, one person in between, and A is in this way. Similarly, let us check for BC. What about BC? BC and again, they are directly above each other. That is C here, B here. What about DE? You see DE? D is over here, E is over here. So E, D. So if you could see here, ACD options are having a pair where they are consecutive. That is, one person is just above the other. Whereas in option B, that is the pair EA, E and A, they are having one person in between them. They are not immediate neighbors, or let's say they are not on the immediate immediate next floor to each other. So that will be an odd one pair among the given 4 options. Answer would be option B. Hope this is clear. I'll post one more question. Try doing that. That is also a simple one indeed, but try doing this time if someone has failed to do it before. Compared to the first set, in this particular set, you have two attributes to each person. One is their profession and the other is the floor number on which they are going to stay. So you have to deal with both of them simultaneously so that you will be finishing the arrangement properly. So this is a bit extension, let's say, to the first set which we just solved before. I'll just wait for the next 20 seconds and start solving this for you people. All right, let me solve this question. I need some space over here now. 8 persons A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H live in a 8-story building, 8-storied building where the ground floor is reserved for parking such that each person lives on a different floor. So basically you can leave this ground floor is reserved for parking. Above the ground floor you have 8 floors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, where 8 people A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H are staying there. So A, B, C, D and then E, F, G, H. 8 people on a 8-storied building. So 1. Okay, let us draw this 1, 2, 3, 4 later as the question progresses. They belong to a different professions among farmer, doctor, accountant, scientist, painter, engineer, businessman, mechanic, not necessarily in that order. It is known that B does not live just below or just above the hearth floor. B does not live just below or just above the hearth floor. One information given in the first statement is B does not live just above or just below the hearth floor. The doctor and the engineer live on the consecutive floors. A lives just above the accountant and E lives just below the accountant. So A lives just above the accountant and E lives just below the accountant. So I can write this over here. A lives just above the accountant. So A is not accountant for sure because A is staying just above the accountant, whereas E lives just below the accountant. So E is over here. E lives just below the accountant. Okay. Now it is also said that the farmer who lives above the scientist, the farmer who lives above the scientist and below the accountant, lives 3 floors above the painter. So there is a farmer who lives 3 floors above. So 1, 2 above the painter. 3 floors above the painter, lives above the painter. So this is another, let's say, configuration or the parameter, the order in which they will occur in this way. Farmer, then 2 people will stay below him and then painter, because farmer who lives above the scientist and below the accountant lives 3 floors above the painter, lives 3 floors above the painter. We haven't used yet scientist, the farmer who lives above the scientist and below the accountant. We will use as we go further. But we are sure that farmer is living 3 floors above the painter. So if painter is over here, then 2 people in between painter and farmer in this way. Now it is said that D is the doctor, H is the painter and E is the farmer. Okay, D is the doctor, painter it is H and E is the farmer. See here, E is the farmer. E is the farmer. So E is the farmer. And it's also said that D is the doctor. D is the doctor. D is the doctor. And if you could see here one statement already which we just read that said that the doctor and the engineer live on consecutive floors. So we don't know who is engineer yet, but we know that doctor and engineer lives on the consecutive floor. Let us find who is the engineer, by the way. So that is one more thing. Now B is not the accountant. G lives above C but below F. E lives 2 floors above the businessman. E lives 2 floors above the businessman. So if he is here, then 2 floors above the businessman means there is one person over here and the other person should be businessman. Other person should have been businessman, because E lives 2 floors above the businessman, right? So if businessman is here, then 1, then 2. E should be over here, and there are exactly 3 people between farmer and scientist. Between farmer and scientist. Who is farmer? E is known as farmer because here it is already given E is farmer. So this E is nothing but what? Farmer. E is what? Farmer. E is farmer. Now we already know this is the arrangement. Farmer, 2 spaces below, and then painter H. So if this is the, if E is the farmer, it as given, this 2 will be the vacant places, let's say same like this, in which one is businessman, and then below there is a painter, and then immediately below there is a painter. There is a painter H. But it is also said in the last statement here, if you could observe, E lives 2 floors above businessman, and there are exactly 3 people between farmer and scientist. There are exactly 3 people between farmer and scientist. And we also know one more thing, 3 people between farmer and scientist. You just focus on this particular statement, 3 people between farmer and scientist. And one other statement which you should be focusing on is that here the farmer who lives above the scientist, the farmer who lives above the scientist, the farmer is living above the scientist, and there are 3 people between farmer and scientist. So scientist should be below farmer. This is what here it is said, the farmer who lives above the scientist. If that is the case, then scientist is below the farmer and 3 people between farmer and scientist. 1, 2, 3. Here it should be scientist. We don't know exactly who is scientist among the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, but we know here it is the scientist. Now, how many people are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Already 7 people are done. Already 7 people are done in placing. I mean to say not the 7 people done. I mean to say 1, 2, 3. 4th is vacant. 5th, 6th, 7th. So there is one more person to be placed, right? Ultimately, we should be placing these all A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, where we were able to place this many, and who all are left? D doctor is left behind. D doctor is left behind. So think, where could this doctor be? Either on here, or not the doctor, I mean to say the additional one person whom we have to be placing, where that person can be, either over here or else over here. Only 2 possibilities, either on this. But just think one thing over here. We already know D doctor and engineer are in consecutive floors. Here it is mentioned that the doctor and the engineer live on consecutive floors. The doctor and engineer live on consecutive floors. See, I can't place doctor over here. Because if I place doctor over here, farmer, doctor, businessman, you are not placing doctor and engineer together. Already farmer and businessman are above and below. So doctor can't be over this point. Doctor can't be over this point. Okay, if doctor is not here, then doctor, we already know D is doctor. So if D is the doctor, if I place D doctor over here, then A should automatically be engineer, because as of now we have not assigned anything for A, but we know doctor and engineer are staying consecutive floors. So if D is doctor, then A is engineer. If that is not the case, if doctor is over here, is that fairly possible? Is that possible? It's not possible, because where will you place engineer? Already scientist is there. You can't place one more person below, because even if you are not considering this particular thing, let's say, even then, if you place doctor here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then where is the engineer? You can't have engineer anymore. So doctor staying here, it cannot be the thing. Neither doctor is staying below the scientist, nor on this vacant place. The only possibility is that doctor and engineer should be on the top, where D is doctor, so A is not doctor anyways. So D is doctor should have been above A, and A should have been engineer. A should have been engineer. So this particular space, the one we were discussing, who is engineer? A will turn out to be an engineer. So now we have placed A, D, doctor, engineer. We placed E, farmer. We placed H, painter. Now the left out people are B, C, F, G. The left out people are B, C, F, G to be arranged. And one more thing which we have to keep in mind over here is that here it is given that B is not accountant. Here it is given B is not the accountant. B is not the accountant. So if I have to place B, C, G, F, the left out places are, one is here, the other is over this vacant, the other is businessman, no person assigned, the other is scientist. If I have to place B. So if B is not accountant, then B is not here. And other thing, if you could observe over given question data, is that here it is mentioned in the very first that B does not live just below or just above the H floor. H is the painter. H is the painter. Now here it is said that B does not live just below or just above the H floor. So if H is the painter, here also B cannot stay. Here also B cannot stay, because neither B is staying above or below, immediate above or immediate below the H floor. So B is not on this both. So ultimately B should be over here. Ultimately B should be over here. So now what is the thing? So these three places there is no B. We figured out because of the conditions given. B is not the accountant and B is not, does not live just above or just below the painter. So that is B. Now if I place already B, what is left? C, G, F. C, G, F, three people are left. Among these places, accountant, this is businessman, and the other is scientist. To place C, G, F, let us use the last thing which we did not use yet, which said that G lives above C but below F. G lives above C. So if C is here, G lives above C. Here it said G lives above C but below F. But below F. But below F. So FGC is an order. So FGC is an order. So G is here below F and C is somewhere down. FGC. Because here it is clearly said G lives above C but below F. So where could G be? If FGC is the case, can I place G over here? No, because D, A, E, F is not above G. If I place G over here, still F is not. F can be. One case is that G is over here, F accountant, and then C would go to scientist. This case, I can't place G here for sure because F is not present on above. D, A is only present. Here I can place G. Here I can place G because if I place G over this place, I can make accountant as F and then the rest of the scientist as C. One possibility. Is it possible to place G over here? It is not, because if G is over here, where is below C? You can't have any more C bottom because scientist is itself in the bottommost floor. So the only possibility is making G as a businessman, so that this also very clear. Now if B is businessman, F should lie above G, so accountant would be F and the left of the person C. This should go to C. Now we have placed A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, every letter. And are we placed with all the professions? Are we done with all the professions? We did D, doctor, A, engineer, accountant, F, E, farmer, businessman, G, painter, H, scientist, C. What about B? What about the left out occupation? If you could see among the given things, farmer is done, doctor is done, accountant is done, and scientist is also done, painter is done, engineer done, businessman done, mechanic. We did not use the mechanic. So B should be the only left out part, which is a mechanic. So this will be the final arrangement. And if you want me to write it on this side, we could do that as final solution to this particular question, which says D, A, F, E, B, G, H, and C. This is doctor. This is engineer. This is farmer. No, this is accountant. And E is farmer. And the other one is mechanic. And the other three are after mechanic. It is businessman, painter, and scientist. Business man, painter, and the other one is scientist. So now let us see the questions. Who lives 3 floors below the doctor? Who lives 3 floors below the doctor? The doctor is over here, 3 floors below. First floor below, second floor below, third floor below. That is E farmer. That is E farmer. So who lives 3 floors below the doctor? E farmer is living 3 floors below the doctor. What about question 2? Who lives between the floors on which the farmer and businessman live? Who lives between farmer and businessman? Here is the farmer, here is the businessman. In between there is only one person who is a mechanic, the B mechanic. So option C, the mechanic is living between farmer and businessman. What about question 3? What is the profession of F? Profession of F is what? Accountant. So answer should be option A, accountant. Now how many people live below E? Below E. So E is over here. Below E there are B, G, H, C. B, G, H, C. There are 4. So answer should be option C, 4. Now the last question. For how many friends can their floors be uniquely determined? That is, for how many of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H are we able to determine their floor number uniquely? We were able to determine the entire set. Like this is first floor, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth floor. All the floor D, A, F, E, B, G, C. This is a unique arrangement. So how many friends can their floors be uniquely determined for? All 8. All 8 will be my answer. All A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So this is how you have to solve the instant puzzles based questions of logical reasoning. Now this should be clear and you should be practicing more on these instant puzzles indeed, because it's all about running the question there itself where there are information given in a different format. They're not given in a particular order. Sometimes, see, the point what happens, not just sometimes, the approach of set, the point where you start the set will change your entire way of approaching. So if someone have started with B does not live just below or above H and just started from there, you'll stuck there, you won't be able to move forward. You should understand where there is maximum amount of information concentrated, that particular statement has to be picked first. That is the simple thumb rule I could say indeed, where here that is the reason we picked from D, we picked from what? We picked from this thing. A lives just above the accountant and E lives just below the accountant. So that means A, accountant, E is an order immediately. There is no other person in between. So we started with A, accountant, E. So basically you should be understanding where there is a dense of information, you should be starting from there, the approach of the solution. And then eventually you should be using every single information which is clearly mentioned in the question. Then only you will be able to finish the set. That's it. And once more, I wanted you to know that Cracku had this 5 free mocks of IIM B UG entrance test should definitely appear, and you should assess yourself where you are lagging or what your strengths and weaknesses currently. You could just search for Cracku IIM B UG mock test so that it gets navigated to this page and you could start giving this free mock tests. And the WhatsApp channel, as I discussed in the start of the session, we made one WhatsApp channel for all the serious aspirants of IIMB and IIMB UG entrance tests. This will be a very good place to start with, in which we will be posting some free preparation resources for practice and at the same time some important updates regarding the tests and everything, so that it will be like a cohort where you can learn and grow together. So definitely make use of this. I would say this is, and the link to join this WhatsApp channel is in this description of the YouTube. you could definitely look into it. And this is the schedule of our live streams, where today we just done with the puzzles, tomorrow and day after, and 3 days, and these are like a daily streams. We are conducting daily streams till the exam, that is till the December 13th, where we are trying to finish entire syllabus before the exam of all the three sections: logical reasoning, quant and data interpretation, and the other one is English comprehension. So here we will be dealing with each and every single topic. You could just subscribe to the channel and mark for the reminder of the videos or the lectures, so that you'll get a YouTube reminder every day. And this is the schedule. The above ones, the dates which are mentioned, 27, 28, 29, 30, these videos are already done. The streamings are already done. They are on the playlist. You can definitely watch them. And even some videos even before this. Don't think that it started on 27th. It started even before. There are all the different videos you can watch and learn the things which you're not very confident at, so that you can start being good at them. And that's it. Please start solving more number of puzzles today, and on a daily basis till the exam. You have very less amount of time, so please do take mocks, because in the last 30 days or 35 days, taking mocks is like an essential thing, which the exam is going to be conducted in December 13th. So definitely make use of this free mocks. Thank you.